Kara, do you have any news for us?
Google stated in a paper that it has a new AI that can design chips in less than 6 hours, a feat that would take humans many months. This AI is already being used to design Google's first generation of tensor computer chips, which in turn will be used to make even more powerful AI systems. First chess, then Go, and now integrated circuit design. Is there nothing the machines won't touch? And finally, Brood 10, the cicada swarm that enveloped the American Northeast last month, clogging jet engines, causing car crashes, and generally making trouble, has finally died following intercourse, leaving their horrible bug corpses everywhere. They will be taking a 17-year hiatus to return again in the year 2038. I will be 45 years old. And I'll be like, oh my, I remember the 2021 when I...
Back when you could go outside.
Yeah, exactly. Back before we had to wear these gas masks and shoot at raiders who were trying to steal our water supplies.
Right. Back then, we didn't even think about cooking cicadas to eat them, much
No.
less that they would come out of the ground already cooked.
God.
Okay, so Google created Skynet. Google created an AI that builds better hardware that builds better AI.
No. I know. That's like the thing. That's like
a while ago. Is this right? Google has built an AI that builds better hardware that can then build AIs.
Yes, it builds better chips for better AIs.
Huh.
Which in turn, theoretically, can be used to make even better chips to make even better AIs.
On some level, this is like taking prisoners in prison, and instead of having them make license plates, we decide we're going to have them make keys.
Yeah, kinda. I mean,
basically, we're giving them the ability that once they figure it out to escape.
yeah. This doesn't seem like a very good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can argue, I think, plausibly, these computers are nowhere near sentient. Like, all they know how to do is math. So, like, we have to implement the chips. You know, we have to do all this stuff. So, it's not like we're going to be like, this new computer chip looks like it's from Mars. It's a little concerning. Maybe we shouldn't plug it in. You know, there are humans in the process. So yeah. I don't think we should, say the sky is falling yet. However, I think, as far as I can tell, this is sort of the first time that we've done anything sort of like this, like, singularity cycle where, like, machines are making better machines. That's sort of the first time that's happened. And so I think it's not probably going to be a problem yet, but it might be a problem in the future. And this is just sort of normalizing that this is something.
It's just like,
we're finally getting there. We're finally getting
going to come where they're just all, Bill, can you explain to me why the new chip just asked me for my social security number?
Yeah, exactly.
And as much as I love this on a science fiction level. There's this great old Ray Bradbury story that's about after nuclear war of the house making breakfast and cleaning up, and eventually we see the ash burns on the side of the house. We see it. I don't think they ever even made a Ray Bradbury theater of it, so apparently the book burned the image into my head. But and so I love it on a science fiction level. On a fan of science level, I know that computers are absolutely nowhere near processing power of the human brain. It just isn't. The scary thing will be when a dumbass computer decides it wants to get smarter by absorbing human brains. That's like that's like the total scary moment,
See, I feel like eventually, like, it's going to be able to just make a better version of the human brain, right? It's not gonna need us. Like, it's gonna be like, oh, we can do this, but let's make it more efficient because someone's actually designing. But
obviously you're gonna say you're a transhumanist on some level, but
sure.
But when it comes to like technology and stuff, are you?
Like, yeah. I mean,
would you want a cochlear implant / Wi-Fi connector? And don't get me wrong, I'm not coming down on people who need a cochlear implant. I'm
sure,
saying as an upgrade.
here's my feeling. I think augmenting our body with technology is awesome, and I'm here for it. I think the only concerning part about that is due to like other systems that I am skeptical of. Like, not a fan of capitalism. So I think if I maybe wouldn't want to have like a computer chip designed by a company in my head, right? Because they're just gonna charge me software update, charge me money every year, like software as a service to retain my memories of my loved ones or something crazy like that,
Plus, my whole family would make fun of me for getting the Samsung implant while they all had the iPhone one.
Exactly. So I think if we lived in a world like without capitalism, I would be much less skeptical. So my skepticism of this is not due to the technology itself. It's due to we live in a society run by horrible systems, and I don't trust those systems to do it.
As a person who does believe in regulated capitalism,
sure.
I do have to point out that while capitalism does have a lot of potential for creating classism, it is not the only thing in history that's done it.
Oh, sure.
And classism has,
look, I think the only good form of I think the only like good form of government has not been like invented yet or tried yet. I think we need to experiment a little more, figure it out.
Right, but
my political philosophy is that capitalism is terrible and unsustainable. What should replace it? Who knows? We need to figure out something else.
Okay, this goes back to earlier. I only want constructive criticism, Kara.
Okay, replace every corporation with a co-op and get rid of the ability to own private property.
But could co-ops own co-ops? Like, could there be a co-op of co-ops?
As long as every person involved like owns a appropriate portion of the company, then I don't have a problem with it.
It'd be called like a conglomerate.
Yeah. So yeah, just something to try,
Right.
Get on that, Congress. Radically restructure our life, please.
And then finally, we talked about cicadas, and I only have one thing interesting about the cicadas to say. I mean, what's to say? I was watching Stephen Colbert, and he did something interesting. He had Jon Stewart on,
sure.
And because of the cicadas, he put up a picture of what they looked like last time the cicadas came out. And I thought it was kind of a fun way to talk about the cicadas. So now I'm interested in now tracking my life as though I am cicada mating. And I'm just going to take a picture once every 17 years.
Yeah, that's what I love about them. They're creepy bugs and I hate them, but they're punctual. They're reliable. Yeah. You can just kind of count on them. They'll be back. They're like Halley's Comet.
All right, you're listening to Radio Wasteland. If you're listening terrestrially tonight, our guest is the one, the only Samuel Hoffman. If you're listening on the internet, well, aren't you special? Your guest can be whoever you want it to be.